Make some noise for your host, Kid Copious.
What up, perps? Kid Copious back in the new and improved bunker, Purple State Party. We always choking at the beginning of these things. So yeah, a little bit of a new set back there. Got our American flag lights. Can't really see the American flag, but they're lit up. It's beautiful. My daughter and I did that. You know, that's what we do. It's kind of a family thing around here. Really thank you for watching. You know, I'm doing this because I really believe in the subject matter, and you know, it's just nice if anybody's watching. So let's get this thing started. There we go. Start with a bang. First up, we're just gonna dive right into a little shower thought that I had looking at this here. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler holds listening sessions with demonstrators. Okay, you guys can keep reading it. I'm gonna get sick. But now I see what's going on here. You know, I was raised in a world where parents, teachers, police. I thought I'd pause the video. So, anyhow, let's just start over. We'll rewind that. So, you know, I was born in an era where the police, parents, teachers, administrators, everybody was tough on kids, and that was pretty much how it was. Like, if you asked your friend, like, hey, did your dad ever spank you? Well, yeah, with a belt. You know, I got chased by big old giant paddles by my grandpa and stuff, you know. So, you know, maybe that wasn't the best way, whatever, but we did learn that, you know, if you effed up too much, the consequences were going to hurt. And then I started seeing a change where people started writing all these books about this new softy approach that you could take and all of that. And I think that's what gets us to the point we're at right now. You know, I don't know if Mr. Wheeler has kids or not, but these are 20 to 30-year-olds who are bored. They would generally be partying in Mazatlan or Miami or somewhere else over summer break, or they'd be working jobs, or they would be doing extra schooling, whatever, you know, college athletics, whatever it is that they're into. And they don't have that, and they see this as an opportunity to get out, mix and mingle, see some boobies, meet some chicks, you know, have a little bit of booze, throw fireworks at cops, burn down buildings, you know. There's a difference between the protesters and the rioters. And that's where none of the media is making a clarification. You know, in Portland, they protest throughout the day. I don't know why. I mean, it's a democratically run hippie state, so I don't know why they're protesting there. But anyhow, they're protesting there probably because it's safer for them, because they're a bunch of cowards. So, you know, they're there. They're making their point, reiterating their point ad nauseum until it just gets, it almost flips the script. Like, I see a little kid holding a "fuck the police" sign, and I think, well, you know, this is beyond just the police now. You guys are just raising the next generation to not respect the police, not respect authority, and then you're going to scream and yell when something happens because instead of respecting authority, they feel like they have the right to fight back all the time. I mean, that's what you see what's going on in Portland. I mean, they literally think that they have the right to burn down a federal building because their whole lives, their parents have told them it's not their fault, it's this person's fault, or it's this bit of society, or it's this corporation, or it's whatever it is. It's not their fault. They're good kids. And it's softy. And the mayor goes out and he wants to have a listening session, and they just scream "fuck you" to him. You know? They just scream "fuck you," but then you want to know, like, okay, so who's co-signing this bad behavior, you know? You know, somebody's got to be co-signing this behavior. You know, it doesn't just happen. And here you go. You know, the ACLU. I mean, I said it once in a tweet about Leo Terrell. Like, I never thought that I would see hope from a civil rights attorney because of this kind of crap. They're saving democracy. No, these people are just trying to burn down buildings. They can sugarcoat it. They can put all the banners they want up. They can put their fist thing up. They can do whatever they want. But the truth of the matter is, they're just a bunch of bored millennials who are raised to be spoiled and entitled. They don't think there's any consequences. They want to free the protesters. And then the media plays along and says, protesters. They're not protesting. They're burning buildings. How does burning a building a protest? How? It's not. It's burning a building. It's fucking arson. It's a crime. Protests are sit-downs, walkouts, demonstrations, marches, speeches. You know, changing the laws and the way we do things one opinion at a time. It's not burning down a building. Give me a fucking break. I mean, come on. We're all smart enough to know that. You know, they're putting up demands using laser light things on the side. And it's kind of weird that they changed it so quickly when they heard that the mayor was coming, you know. They put it in there. And they want the protesters released from prison. They want the feds out of Portland. Then stop trying to burn federal buildings. The feds are there defending federal buildings. Make no mistake about it. The media isn't going to tell you that. Not the media that some people are watching. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to say that what they're doing is a fight for democracy. And it's just a load of crap. Here's a great illustration of it. Portland politicians letting rioters destroy their city for, like 58 days now, and then blaming Trump. You notice that pattern? They're blaming somebody else. It's not their fault that they pulled the police back. It's not their fault that they have such weak laws that nobody's afraid of authority anymore. No. It's Trump's fault. Yeah, see? It's Trump's fault. You raise kids to believe that nothing's their fault. That there's some disorder. That there's some imbalance. And yeah, I know about that. I had that, man. I was a wild child. I was on Ritalin. You know, I had to go to shrinks. I had to go to doctors, man, trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong with me. But at the end of the day, when I finally got slapped hard enough by the police, not the law slapped me, you know, I cleaned up my fucking act, man. I got my shit together, and then I struggled for damn near another 30 years, man, just to get here. But I saw consequences. There aren't consequences anymore. Listening sessions. What a, we're talking about blaming, and, here we go. Oh, you can't have federal troops here. Meanwhile, people are, dozens of people are getting shot every weekend. People are getting killed in Chicago, but you want to somehow make it about Trump and him trying to protect federal buildings with federal personnel. Look, if your cops would protect them, then the feds wouldn't need to be there. Stop blaming other people for your failures. They're chanting fascism. And they're told by all their professors and probably by some of their dingbat parents, oh, you go out there and fight, Johnny. Johnny, go get them. Fight that fascism. Using fascist tactics. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shoot, that hurts my head. You mean you're using the same tactics that Mussolini and Hitler used? Huh, the Chinese government. They're putting people in concentration camps. Are we putting people in concentration camps? Don't give me that bullshit about the border. All right? People try to cross the border, they get arrested. If there's kids, they need to be separated. They need to figure out where they're from. Who they belong to in reality, so they're not smuggled in, man. We got to tweak the system, not burn it down. And this is coming from somebody who was an anarchist. I believed in all that. But it doesn't work that way, man. Without the government, the roads fall apart, the infrastructure falls apart. Well, I mean, fine. You want to move to fucking in the middle of nowhere, Montana, and grow your own food? You go do that. But it ain't going to work for the 300 plus million people in this country. Your people are deluded. I know none of you rioters are watching this right now. But if you are, you got to think about your shit, man. And this, again, is what we're talking about right now. All those mayors would like the federal troops to leave. Who's going to protect the federal property? See, the state doesn't care because it's not theirs. The feds will have to replace it. So let them attack those buildings. Because the feds are Trump. And we hate Trump. He beat our lame-ass candidate. Again, stop blaming Trump. Y'all put up Hillary Clinton. What the fuck? You really think it's Trump's fault? No. And now this is where we're at, man. We're just going to start moving into the different tweets and memes and Instagram posts that I've seen. And, kind of talk about the news as we go along here. But this is the kind of crap that we can't have. He is our president. You know, this man got fired because people in the administration, the hierarchy, the school board, all of that, decided that they don't like his opinion. They don't like Trump, so they're going to fire him. How is that not fascism? You call Trump a fascist and a racist, and yet that's what I see there. He didn't even express opinion. He expressed a fact, and they fired him. That's fascist because you're punished for saying something that the hierarchy doesn't like. And it's racism because it's based only on the fact that he seemingly supports Trump. He might not even support Trump. I don't know. It's just stupid. You think you're fighting fascism, but you're actually just practicing fascism. Get it straight. So the NFL is coming back, supposedly. I'm a big fantasy guy. I play a lot of fantasy football. I don't buy it. I have a feeling it's all going to fall apart because unlike soccer where there's some sort of distance between these players, these guys are man-piling all the time. But more importantly, what I like about this headline is that it's a prime example of what the media likes to do. The NFL likely to let players honor victims of police brutality with helmet tributes, per report. What's wrong with that? Well, the truth of the matter is, as you see here, it also includes police officers that were slain in the line of duty or African American victims of racism. Why not just say NFL to allow messages of support? Messages of support. You don't have to make everything clickbaity. You don't have to stir the pot. You know, because as people are seeing, as politicians are seeing, these people don't really care who they attack. They just need the next target. You know? And if you keep winding people up, what's going to happen? As we've already seen, people are going to get hurt. You know? Meanwhile, as we're, talking about putting civilians to handle traffic stops and police brutality, there's an interesting number, 116 officers who have died. Trying to protect your ass. Now there's talk about putting civilians in traffic positions. You know how stupid that is? Do you know how stupid that is? Traffic stops are the most dangerous thing that a police officer has to do because you don't know shit about what you're pulling over. You might be pulling over a rolling meth lab. Look, I mean, I could talk about bodies in trunks and stuff, but let's be honest. Rolling meth labs, warrants, on the run from something else, having just committed a crime. You want civilians? Go look at videos out there. Go look at the big giant dude who just decked a female officer. She went down one punch like that. One punch. A guy could have just taken her gun and pop up. And you want unarmed, untrained civilians handing out traffic tickets. That's the kind of malarkey. Because they don't care. They're lining their frickin' pockets on both sides. Democrats and Republicans, red and blue. Man, I'm purple for a reason, man, but I gotta destroy one side at a time. And if I'm gonna pull one down right now, it's gotta be the Democrats because they're fucking lunatics. Because they're practicing this kind of stuff. Look at that. And that's the truth of it. Socialism's the greatest thing ever. Well, where has it worked? Where has it worked? Do you really think that because somehow we're better than these other countries? No, it doesn't really work that way. It doesn't work that way. History repeats itself. It does. If you're not careful, history repeats itself in your personal life. Think about the same dumb mistakes you've made. How many times you've gone back to that crazy girlfriend or that abusive boyfriend. History repeats itself, man, if you don't learn from it. And they don't want to learn from it, you know? It's obvious that they have an agenda. They want more government control. They want you locked in your house, off of the streets, so that they can enjoy the perks of your state, which is particularly California. They want you broke and suckling off their teeth so they can just raid the public coffers, so they can hook up their friends and family however they can. You know? Now we're going to move into this was one of my contenders for the best of the week right now. Good old Jim. Didn't really like him. On The Office, that was kind of a delight. Well, the second time. First time was Jim. Oh, Jim and Pam, Jim and Pam. But then you watch that for the second time in a row and start to realize he was kind of a D-bag a little bit. But this is a good point right here. This is a good political meme right here. People who run businesses have to make choices. And it's up to them. It's up to them. You can't expect every single person to accept the ways of life that are being led. You can't. It's just the way it is. I mean, if you're in a position where the law says that you cannot discriminate at all, fine. I mean, you can't discriminate. But a business, they don't necessarily want to associate with certain things. They don't want certain things being connected to their name. That's just the way it is. I mean, I bet you there's a lot of people out there that I wouldn't feel safe having anything positive about Trump written on my cake. Yeah. This is just another one because it's still sort of ongoing. The guy commends the president and everybody goes crazy. And then they say they're fighting fascism. But yet, you're not even allowed to have a differing opinion. That's the pure definition of fascism right there. You cannot think anything other than what the state tells you to think. And there's our president. This is one of the reasons why I like him right there. He's taken a lot of heat. Didn't really even need to. Didn't really need to. He was not a politician. But the media, they are working overtime to blame him for everything. Forget about the governors who screwed up. No, it was Trump's fault. Forget about the looters and the rioters, the chaos makers. No, that's Trump's fault too. He sent the troops. Yeah, so Trump sent the troops, and then the rioters tried to burn the building down. I'm pretty sure it was the other way around. So here's another interesting one coming out of the right, or out of the left, I mean. I'm a middle guy, man. Sometimes I forget right and left. What do you want? I mean, what do you want from me? This is reason 102 to remove Trump. And I support the trans community. I really do. But let me tell you a little story. I scored very highly. Very highly. I am very highly. Yeah. But I scored very high on, I don't remember names, man, the military aptitude test. And I was approached by the 4 branches. I really had no interest in the Navy. I'm not going to be out on a ship. I'm not doing that. But, the Air Force wanted me. And I was told that there were jobs that I could get, but I couldn't fly. Why couldn't I fly? I was too short. So what's the solution? What is the 2020 solution? I should be able to fly that plane, trying to look up over the cockpit, not being able to see? No. The military has to have certain standards. They have to. There's certain things that they can't allow. You can't have a blind man driving a tank. You can't have a guy with no legs serving as an infantry troop. You can't. I mean, there are limitations. Not everybody can do everything, and we just need to accept that a little bit. There's lots of people out there, and that can't serve for various different reasons. And how many trans people want to serve in the military? How many people are you trying to placate with this? It needs to be a certain way, man. We need to learn from that. And one thing we can learn from this particular statement is how somebody takes something that's easily agreeable. Everybody could agree on that. Oh, trans people should be able to do whatever they want. Okay, cool. That's a good point. Yeah. Trump's borrowing them from the military. He's not letting them do something. Oh my goodness. He's transphobic. No, they need to have standards. Obama was just an you can't please everybody. There have to be rules and standards in place. And I'm I'm not bad-mouthing trans people at all. That's not my intention here. But if you have somebody who is taking hormones, or somebody who's going to have any sort of just inherent conflict going in, it's probably not a good idea. It just isn't. I mean, there are lots of issues that people have that will keep them from, being in the military. And, body dysmorphia is one of them. It's just the way it is. I knew a civilian guy who worked for the National Guard. He was transitioning, and he worked behind the scenes. And cool dude, but he wanted to serve, but he wanted to serve in a non-enlisted way. So he became, a civilian worker for the National Guard. He did his part. And he was happy with it. It was a great job. He had a great sense of pride, Cool dude. Now we're going to move on to more left memes here, because sometimes I just don't get them. I mean, they're making fun of Trump for virtually the exact same thing that Biden does to a power of two. I don't even get it. No plan, no idea, no clue, no blame. Okay. Yeah, all right. So he's shoveling the blame onto other people, I guess. He seems to be taking all the blame. Whatever. But again, that's could be said about both sides. That's what's ridiculous about our political setup. We have two sides. Two sides. That's it. For literally the most important thing that our country needs, which is good government, a good central government that allows states to be run by the states. Here's a great one. Yeah, Joe Biden is respected by other world leaders. Mm-hmm. Sure. Because who doesn't like a good bribe? Respected. I highly doubt respected is a word. And quite frankly, I don't really give a shit if the rest of the world respects us. I really don't, to be honest with you. We pulled their ass out of gloom and doom all through the early 19 into mid 1900s. We had to clean up all that. We had to stand on guard against the Red Menace, man. We had to point the missiles back at Russia. We had to have the Russian missiles pointed at us. Respect. Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. Trump is confused, unhinged, lost, unfit, a liar. Brought to you by Republicans for Biden Now. Boy, are you going to regret that. You are so going to regret that. Because if that happens, man, it ain't going to be good, dude. It ain't going to be good. But again, okay, about the only thing that you can't say about Biden right there is that Biden is not unhinged. Trump is admittedly a little bit unhinged, but we kind of need that. I have been so high that that Biden's press conferences made sense. Of course, they were all in his head because he hasn't done one really. He hasn't come under any fire. He gets softballed by the media. If somebody really went up against him, somebody respected, tried to take him on, he'd fall to pieces. Come on, you know that. And here's another one. Again, this goes right back to just the stupidity of that side. They never accepted the 2016 elections. So, okay, what are we talking about here? You're whatever. You're making the assumption that he's going to lose. Great, okay, and he doesn't want to go quietly. How'd y'all do when Hillary lost? I mean, from day one, you've refused to work with the guy. You used falsified evidence to try to impeach him. It's ridiculous, man. But I will give you trouble. I will give you this one, because this one kind of made me laugh. Trump has been going on about that cognitive test. And, man, again, he should just ignore that stuff. We could all see it. We already know. He's got his shit together. Biden's falling apart. We know that. Getting into some more good stuff here. I love this one. If you voted for Donald Trump, then you're a racist. Yeah, more just insane random statements. But, to be honest with you, it's no more insane than all the statements about Wayfair, some of that crap. But who's being racist when they say that? That's the best part about that. You know, I mean, it has nothing to do with race. I guess it's just hate. So I guess whatever her name is, Janelle Hill there, I guess it's hate speech. Hate speech. Yeah, that's cool. There you go. We're starting to get into some of my favorites right now. And this one is really good because it's basically what I've been saying. They're just out there trying to burn shit down, man. They're just bored. Here's a quick reminder from Ricky Gervais. I love this quote. Whoa, I went right on by that, but see on the video, I held it there. But anyhow, more stupidity from the left. I mean, I get it. Somebody made one from the right that had the right made it. It had, Cortez and Biden and Pelosi and just a bunch of other those knuckleheads. But so these guys copied it or whatever. Maybe it went the other way around. I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't really give a crap. Eggs are delicious. But these people aren't friends. Okay? There's a family and Putin. Okay? I mean, if you're saying that Trump is friends with Putin, that's probably a good thing if you know anything about your history. Because we have these things called nuclear missiles pointing at each other, and we need to have good relations with them. We need to keep them on our side just like we did in World War II. To deal with the devil, undoubtedly. But shit, at least they ain't the Chinese. So here we go. Really, it's one of my favorites right here. Facts over feelings, man. That's what you got to look at. Like, people say, why are you going to vote for Trump? Not a huge fan of him, but I think he has done a good job. Has he made mistakes? Sure. Tough job. Everybody makes mistakes. But Biden's been there for so long. He has tried and failed at this presidency several times that I know of. At least two that I know of. Two. All right? I don't see anything there. I don't see any progressive ideas that are anywhere close to doable that won't destroy the economy. I don't see a cognitive ability out of him. I don't think he's got the gusto for it. I really think that this is an attempt to appease the older Democrats. And just like with Hillary, I have a feeling it's going to backfire. But, people hate Trump enough. So, but again, hating Trump is the feelings. There aren't facts to back it up. He didn't steal the election. Y'all lost it. You put up a lame duck candidate, and it got shot down. That's what happened. You can complain about Electoral College all you want. There's a reason why it's there. There's a reason why it's there. So the lunatics can't just take over by taking one state or popular vote or any of that crap. There you go. Going back to my beans. Going back to the beans. Mexican word of the day. Goya. Trump is Goya. Be your president in 2020. So there you go. I think they probably should have put 2021 or 2024 or whatever. Some other date, personally. But what the hell? I love that dude. I love it when these pop up on me. The Mexican word of the day. It's one of my favorites, man. They're funny. And here's my favorite thing I found this week. I was going down that bleak hallway that's called introverts and anxieties and all of that. And, I fit into that category because this shit makes a lot of sense to me. Want to do something dangerous? Yeah, let's go to bed early and be alone with our thoughts. Man, you could imagine what my brain must be doing, man. But, those are the kind of things that we're letting slip by the wayside. We got a lot of things slipping by the wayside right now because we're so preoccupied with COVID, which we have to be, and, stuff like this Portland shit, that is just, ridiculous. It's all preventable. These people, you've made your point. Now go home. Stop trying to burn down any more buildings. You're not making. We already had our civil rights movement, and the good guys won. You know, go home. Tell your parents what a wonderful thing you did protesting against fascism. They'll pat you on the back, give you a gold star, give you some milk and brownies, and send you off to bed. And you can watch fucking cartoons. Because you ain't making a difference out there. You're simply just trying to burn down buildings. Copious out.